we are better known as a virtualization company. That's what, because kind of we brainchild it, we brought it to the industry about 2 decades back. We touch lives in each and every way possible, right? You start from a data center, you go to a data, to a device, to a cloud, right? To your IoT devices or whatever you could think of. That's what we do for a living and for our earning, right? Coming back, you would find VMware being utilized, being deployed, being consumed by multiple industries, multiple verticals in the multiple line of businesses that they operate out of. Education is one such. You could think of labs, right? Immediate example, right? Where you could probably get rid of your physical desktops and probably look for something that we call as desktop virtualization. I'm sure many of you would understand what I'm talking about. VDI, probably better known as, right? Makes a lot of sense, business as well as academics, when we are talking about one lab to be shared by 5 different departments of civil, mechanical, engineering, blah, 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 right? Every time a respective administrator has to go change the profiles, change the applications, make an arrangement for the next version of the application available to the student. Imagine that, right? And now that we're talking about swans, we're talking about connected, universities and stuff like that, which government institutes are taking the initiatives. Imagine the kind of the state of the art, experience that you give to a student, right? Where you could have a Wi-Fi campus. Student probably carries his own smart device, which could be from a laptop to an iPad or to whatever tablet that he thinks is affordable to him. And everything that he could do by going into that lab from 3 to 4 or whatever the time zone, right, can actually be done from the state and the place where he's sitting in that campus. That's what the beauty of virtualization from a desktop standpoint brings from VMware to an education industry. We change gears, we go to probably a test and dev environment, right? Today, you would know people are talking not just about the legacy apps which are built in Siebels and Oracles of the world. We are today talking about cloud-based apps. We're talking of SaaS apps. We are talking about the apps which are natively born into cloud, containers, Kubernetes, right? Again, if a lesser known fact, today VMware offers you support of everything I just spoke, from containers to Kubernetes to your cloud-based apps to your legacy apps which can be run in your data center on-prem or from the choice of public or a managed cloud provider that you could want or think of. 90% of the people or the industry is already using it on-prem, right? Now the graduation shift is coming from this side of the table to the public cloud. That's what my respective panelists also spoke about. Again, a lesser known fact, the Meghraj that he referred to, which is the NIC cloud offering much before the Amazons and Azures of the world or IBMs of the world came, right, is end-to-end built, supported, powered, running on VMware. All right. What we have done recently, which is about a year back, again, if it's a lesser known fact, we have collaborated with all these public cloud service providers, which is Amazon, Azure, very shortly to be announced with other leading providers as well. Already available with IBM Bluemix, the software that is better known as well. Which means today, if you are running a VMware environment on-prem, but you would want the same environment to be available with the benefits of a public cloud in any of these providers, please go and get it. To the extent that you can even port your existing on-prem perpetual licenses to an on-prem to an off-prem subscription model. We can talk offline details on that. Imagine, let's complicate this scenario a bit. What if people, and I think Shambalda very rightfully brought forward, It's not a matter of or, on-prem or off-prem or cloud, public cloud. It's a matter of and, right? There are some data, some workload you would still want to keep it on-prem. There are some workload you would still probably want to keep. Think of Flipkarts of the world. Think of whatever e-commerce portal, right? They probably would not want to keep everything on-prem, right? It's a seasonal-based demand. That, what do you call that? The famous sale of Flipkart, right? You know that?
Big Billion Day Sale.
Big Billion Day Sale, fantastic, right? Do you think that Flipkart can actually come up with that many resources in a compute storage environment in a data center just because 1 week, 10 days before announcing I'm doing a big day sale? You know what is the kind of, and I think you would have heard that, right? Last time when they did it, they failed. You know that? That came in the newspaper, right? They couldn't support it. The entire infrastructure collapsed because they were expecting a hit of about, let's say, 1 million. The hit came to about 10 times the size. That is what public cloud can do, right? So what VMware does, connecting the dots, will give you the best of on-prem that you have been using all this while, along with using the flexibility, agility, and the cost benefit of a public cloud. That's how you should view VMware. Again, think of scenarios where organizations have a mix of all this already running in their environment. As I said, it can be and, it has to be or. Sorry, beg your pardon. It can't be an or, it has to be and, right? Think of a complex scenario, right, where a management or administrator has to go and deal with multiple on-prem workloads and off-prem workloads. Every single Amazon, Azure, IBM of the world will have its own console, will have its own GUI to manage. On-prem would be different. Trust me, what I'm just narrating in a 2-minute scenario, right, can be a nightmare for a management and a CIO to handle that scenario. It could be very well done between 15, 20, 25 watt workloads or VMs. The moment I'm talking about the sprawl of VMs, the sizes we are talking, you need a fleet and an army of people to manage that. It's a cost, right? You are making the business do and invest on something which they were not meant for. Handling and sustaining the entire environment. How does VMware helps? We are the only uniquely placed solution today, given that we offer you best of both the worlds, that you can have a single orchestration window of all those multiple platform providers integrated to one common orchestration layer for your on-prem as well as for your off-prem. The list price of an open stack that VMware offers, you know what's the problem with open stack today? Come on, it's been there right from ages. How will you support it? From where will you get the expertise? My 4-year-old kid, he just entered class 1. I'm just giving you a scenario about 5 years back. And he gets introduced to a chapter called computer science. And it says, how do you open a computer? And Vice tells me that thoda padhai hai isko thoda. And I read the book, it says, switch on, step 1, go to start, program, menus, Microsoft Word, MS Word. Is that how you learn how to open a computer? This is how you learn how to work on a Microsoft, my dear friend. For a generation which is tuned from the DNA to work on a Microsoft, tomorrow they will become engineers. How do you find an open source intelligence and expertise coming from where? Exported from America, is it? Right? Now, coming back to the point, what does VMware does? VMware offers a completely integrated open stack supported officially by VMware at a cost of $1 per license. For all respective government people thinking of open stack campaigns. Finally, let's think of mobile devices. Every organization today carries a mobile devices, right? I can think of, in fact, very recently we kind of closed a project with JAP IT where they went ahead with 40,000 mobile devices to be given to the government departments, right? Because they want to track what all application they use, they want to access it, and so on and so forth. How would you protect the data? Right? Today, a company with a 50 user employee base to a 50,000 user employee base, one common thing is going to be a mobile device. छोटा या बड़ा, Samsung का हो या Xiaomi का हो, right? How do you manage it? Because today, if you are in the name of technology innovation, in the name of transformation, be it a private company or education institute or a state government and respectively, if you are giving him that access, how would you ensure that that is managed, protected, right? You give him the freedom to access the way he want to, so that you maintain a very virtual wall between the private personal stuff of his jokes and WhatsApps and Facebooks to the corporate thing that he does and access on his mobile. VMware does it through what we call as a workspace environment for corporates, where you can have a siloed approach. When I say siloed, a virtual approach to have your personal and private run on a single platform, yet manage it. So the employee tomorrow says, I'm bringing my own smartphone. Mr. Company, Mr. Organization, you are not allowed to touch it. That's a data privacy issue. You're not allowed to view what is happening into my mobile beyond your corporate assets, which is very rightly so. That's what we offer, right? So that's a kind of a quick summary of what we do in the interest of time. And I would simply kind of, as a parting words, just put one single line comment, right? And there was a Greek philosopher who said this like about 2,500 years back. You can't step into the same river twice, right? That is what we are going into this technology world day in, day out. And I think the business today has taken about 2,500 years since then to understand the depth and insight of what it means. Because change is the only concept phenomenon that we are saying, right? The technology age for any single thing, evolution we are thinking after industrial revolution is not more than 6 months to 1 year, right? What we do at VMware is we ensure that the investments that you have already done and you are not looking to go forward are maintained. Because if it's a rip and replace investment, anybody on the earth can do that. Again, we can take it offline and help you. A last final thing, that's what I typically say when I kind of meeting the respective people, right, is how do we look at the scenario 1.0, which was 10 years down the line, and probably 2.0, which is today. Because customers were in thousands then, millions and billions today. Assets were owned then, shared today. Innovation was methodical then, rapid today. Competition was known then, unpredictable today. App deployment was timely then, instantaneous today. Organizations were built to last then and built to change today. Thank you very much.